What's going on, guys? Nick here, back with another video. This one says, I know what to do, but it's too difficult. I know what to do. I know how to be mindful. I know how to work. I know how to finish my chores, but being present with anxiety instead of distracting myself feels like being at the gym trying to lift a 100-kilogram dumbbell. My mind muscles tire quickly, and I find it impossible after a few days at best. I use the gym metaphor because I know it's supposed to get easier over time. My mind will learn to become stronger and more resilient and capable. Already defeated. What you speak into existence will find a way to manifest itself into your reality. Your thoughts play a bigger role in how you perceive things from the get-go. We're going to keep going on with this because I want to see what else they have to say. But if you already go at things and talk about you verbalize how hard something is, you're already setting yourself up for failure. There's a big psychological component to that. So let's go on. But for now, I keep failing because I become extremely tired and exhausted, and I am not sure what to do. Because usually after I exhaust my energy, I usually then fall back asleep to a source of distraction, recover, and rest for a week. Wasted time, being extremely inefficient. Then after a week of non-productivity, I find myself rested enough to be able to start again. But knowing I will fail again makes me question the value of trying again. So on this one, there's this quote that I heard quite a while back, and it says, you get what you tolerate. So whatever you have in your life, as far as results go, that is a form of what you have tolerated. So this guy's talking about, or this girl, I go through these phases where I get tired and then I get distracted. Then a week goes by after this productive period, and I snap back into it. I'm like, what am I doing? I got to get back on track. What they have done is they get to this point. I'm assuming it's probably the same time, because the way that they're talking makes it sound like a habit, something that's repetitive. So they get to this point where they get fatigued and they get tired, and then they stop, because once you get to that discomfort, that point where, man, it would be so much easier right now to just stop what I'm doing, take a break, you just fall into that. They used the gym example earlier. It's like, if you're doing bench press with 135 and you've been doing it for months, maybe even years, and you know that if you put 140 on, it feels a little uncomfortable because it's a little bit heavier than what you're used to, but you never really pushed past that 135 mark. So getting to that 140 plus feels very foreign. It's going to fatigue you more, but the only way to increase your capacity is to go through it, is to actually do the weight, probably less reps, but get used to it. And then before you know it, you'll be hitting the same reps that you were at 135, now at 140. Then we'll add 145, 155, and before you know it, you'll be at 200. But let's keep going here. So any clues or help is appreciated, how to break this cycle and see a gradual improvement rather than this weird cycle of productivity, unproductivity. Again, you get what you tolerate. You have to go through it. Please don't tell me to take it slow or give myself breaks in the middle of productivity mode. Being mindful is never an option, and I want to intentionally choose. I'd rather find a way to always stay mindful, even when I am exhausted from being mindful. Okay, I'm going to be honest. You're being too soft when it comes to this. It's exactly what I was talking about earlier. If you want to, you can be mindful and still persevere and go through a challenging situation. Being mindful is recognizing, this is my breaking point. This is where I usually put things down, take a break, go distract myself, and then go back into this same cycle. Being mindful is making the choice, you know what, I'm going to take a deep breath and keep going through this, because the alternative to stay in this cycle is not what I want. And then they close out with, my question is, can I find a way to adjust the level of productivity without completely letting go of mindfulness, so I can rest and keep getting better without constantly having to lift this 100-kilogram dumbbell that they figuratively said earlier? I guess I'm asking is for people with anxiety, how do you lower the difficulty of being present? I think we pretty much hit on this through the entire video so far. But the only way to get where you want to go, since you've never been there, is you have to push these boundaries that you've never been. Like I mentioned, once you hit that point, you've got to be mindful enough to recognize it and then persevere through it, push through it. But overall, this person has a belief in their mind that this is where they are, and that what they are saying in their mind is becoming truer and truer every time that they do this. So they know for a fact that they're in a cycle, and subconsciously, when they get to that point, their body starts to perform like that. It starts to get tired at this breaking point because they believe when I get to that point, I get tired. This is what I mean about what you speak into existence will become your reality. And this is good or bad. Honestly, if you take emotions aside and you just take this person and have their body perform, I guarantee you they can easily push past the limit that they keep getting stuck at. But they have this frame in their mind of this is when I get tired because this is always what happens. Their body, their energy, it's all going to perform to that level. This goes for sports, this goes for your everyday life, your business, whatever it is, whatever you do, this directly applies. So to wrap it all up, and just think about what you say. If you want to be mindful of the thoughts that you have. Be mindful of the things that you think about that you're letting come out through your words, because that's when things go south, when you start saying these thoughts that don't need to be said. If you don't have anything that's building you up, don't say it. We all have thoughts that are negative. The damage that starts to happen is when you start to talk about them, you start to believe them, and then you look a year down the road and this is exactly where you are, exactly where those thoughts came from. So anyways, I hope this one helps. If you have any thoughts you want to drop into the comments, let's start a conversation. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys soon.